What's going on, guys? This is Kaishiro. Welcome back. So we are here with another video of OCG Metagame Tierlist post AGOV or post Age of Overlord. So the new set introduced a lot of stuff on the new format that we have here on this July. It introduced Diabellestarr, and it even have support for Labyrinth and Metagame. So yeah, it gave some complements and adjustments towards the shape of our metagame. So this is the tier list that have been shaped after the days and a half of release of AGOV, and yeah, we will going to tackle each of the decks here on this tier list. So we are going to have few pointers on the decks here and what made them stand out than the rest of the competition. So yeah, this post was brought to you by ESDR. Thanks again for ESDR for continued release of valuable contents on their page, and this tier list was made by Rai_10Y on his Twitter. I assume I have seen this tier list before, but yeah, we will now tackle this tier list, and I'm very excited to talk about the decks here on this metagame tier list. So we will start at C tier. Now we have Adventure Tenyi. So this deck got some tops after the release of AGOV. It is, by the way, concluded with Diabellestarr. It is with Diabellestarr, and the last time we have seen Adventure Tenyi was 2021, no? Before the insane release of Power of the Elements, we have the Adventure Tenyi and Fluandris and Eldritch, those decks that are donning the meta on the last 2021. But yeah, I think Adventure Tenyi, so limelight once again. I have seen couple of tops of this deck, 2, 3, 4 tops of this deck that I have observed on Saturday and Sunday tournaments. So yeah, I think they deserve a shout out here on C tier. But for me, I will put this deck on pedestal. I will really look into the macro scale of things and will not rush putting this Adventure Tenyi on C tier, even though they have some ample success recently. I think it's pretty too soon or early to mention them here on C tier. So yeah, we will put this deck on hold for this C tier. And then moving on, we have Exosister. So we have things like Adamant Spater, Earth Good Stuff, and Tierlements, those graveyard reliant decks that are doing somewhat really well on the format. So yeah, Exosister can be a very good meta call deck on this tier list, and I think that it can really make the matchups really hard for Tierlements and Adamant Spater, Earth Good Stuff, and also Diabellestarr a little bit relies on graveyard. So Exosister can definitely answer that, and the turn 1 of Exosister is not a joke either. It can bring out Magnifica and Returnia, so it can banish up to 4 times in a single turn. Imagine that. And Returnia as well, very insane, because we now have the Doomsday, the new Zeus that they say on this post AGOV. That 2/9 XYZ monster really have been a staple on many people's extra deck recently, as well as the SP Little Knight. So yeah, the Exosister ends up on 3k monster with the Magnifica. They will struggle with the Doomsday, but luckily they have Returnia to answer that problem. So yeah, I think Exosister is pretty okay and decent on the new format post AGOV. And then next we have Metagame Visas. So this deck also got buff from the new set of AGOV. It introduced some supports for the Visas lore and Metagame lore, and I think that this deck will get even better on the following sets, because the lore and archetype of OCG structure here focuses on Metagame. So I really think that this deck will have more supports on the next sets or following sets that we may have on the OCG. So yeah, I think it's a very good investment right now to pick up this deck. And I also think that this archetype will be reprinted on the creation pack, if I'm seeing things correctly. I have seen a post that Metagame will get reprint of core on the creation pack on the AE, by the way, Asian English release of this Metagame. So we will see. But right now, this deck is very decent. One of the better combo decks that you may pick up on the current metagame, aside from Adventure Tenyi, of course. Manadium has been really on fire for the last 2 to 3 weeks. They are really popping off on the metagame tier list. So yeah, it's a very well-deserved shout out here. If I'm going to change things here on C tier, I would put Mechanco Phantom Knights on C tier. I think I have seen a lot of Phantom Knights Mechanco tops recently, and Rongominad is a very problematic boss monster. It can be outed by XYZ Encore and things like that. So yeah, it's really hard to deal against with that type of deck that has specific counters only, and Rongominad can instantly win games from the moment that Rongominad was summoned. So yeah, I think we should put respect on the Phantom Knights Mechanco on C tier above Adventure Tenyi with Diabellestarr here. So moving towards the B tier, we have Super Heavy Samurai. So this deck got some batter or banters from the previous ban list. This deck got hit from the July ban list, but they are still standing strong on this metagame chart. I think it boils down to the consistency of this deck. Even though they lost some key pieces on the main deck, this deck can sport many hand traps on the main deck. It can even go to 15 to 18 hand traps. And this deck has also the ability to play good going second cards like Nibiru, Kaiju, and Tankar Taps and Lava Golem on the main deck. I think it's a very inclusive part of the Super Heavy Samurai, that they are pretty versatile when going first. They can have one card combo that can go into Barone and something like Crystal Wind Synchro Dragon. And they also have tools on the deck that can give them a fighting chance when going second. So I think this is a very good deck, a pretty balanced deck, to be honest. If you're looking for a deck that is really far away from the ban list, the type of deck that will not get heated by the following ban list soon, I think this is a good start for you to pick up with the Super Heavy Samurai. So yeah, moving on, we have Branded. I think Branded was a little bit low. On my perspective, I would have put Branded on A tier if I'm going to make this tier list. But yeah, Branded has been a very staple deck for many people. It's been around since 2021. It survived the Eldritch format, the Fluandris format, and the Sprite format. Even the Sword Soul format, they have survived that. And the Elements format as well, and then Kashtira format. So yeah, it's been a really long time since Branded was released on the OCG, and they're still doing okay and perfectly fine on the current metagame tier list here that we have. So yeah, it speaks volume on how evergreen this deck. It can really adapt and conquer a lot of circumstances. So I would put that gratification for Branded on this B tier. I would put Branded on A tier, but yeah, I have seen a few tops of Branded lately from the release of AGOV. So maybe the deck got a little power creep from the Diabellestarr, but I don't know. It's too early to say that Branded got power creep. It's too crazy to say that early on this stage. But yeah, we will put Branded on pedestal as well if this deck will continue perform or it will get worse. But it's up to the Yu-Gi-Oh gods at this point. So yeah, Branded on B tier, I was okay with it. And then next we have Earth Good Stuff with Advance Paper Earth Good Stuff. I think this is one of the better combo decks as well on the format. Very strong turn 1. It can make a stupid board, a lot of negates, and it can play around hand traps as well like Veiler and Imperm. So yeah, I think that Adamantipator Earth Good Stuff can be very slippery to deal against if you have not drawn Dimension Shifter, those cards like Droll and Lockbird that skips the turn of this deck, or even Maxi. Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to answer this deck. And also note that even Wang Chaching, the World Champion 2018 and 2019 runner-up, put his trust on this deck on the Duelist Cup main event, the biggest event on Asia recently. So yeah, I think many players have trusted this deck that can bring them success. So why would I not? No, I think Adamantipator Earth Good Stuff is still very relevant up until this date, and a very good deck to pick up as well to big tournaments. So yeah, at B tier we have Adamantipator Good Stuff, and then next we have Labyrinth here. Yeah, I think Labyrinth should be on A tier here. I think Labyrinth got a decent support from the AGOV, but it's not on the same level as Rescue Ace Diabellestarr, to be honest. Even though they got a new very good support, I think Labyrinth is still a little bit slower than Diabellestarr decks on the format here, like Tierlist's Diabellestarr. So yeah, we will see how Labyrinth players will evolve and adapt with their new support. I think they will provide some new innovations to the deck to make this Labyrinth function better, or they would trade some key pieces on the deck for the new support. I still don't know. I haven't seen that much of Labyrinth deck list that top recently. That's why they are on A tier here, and it's pretty diverse. They have tops without the new support, and they have tops as well with the new support. So yeah, it's really hard to figure it out very early on this stage. So yeah, at 8 tier we have Labyrinth, and then next we have Runic. I'm really surprised why Runic is here on 8 tier. Maybe it's a very exploitive deck on the format. If players are not prepared against Runic, if they are not running Cosmic Cyclone, those stuff that can out the floodgates and the Runic Fountain, I think Runic will shine. But yeah, I don't think it's that much of a threat on A tier. I would put this Runic on B tier. If I'm going to be honest, I would like to put this Runic on the middle of Adamant Scepter, Earth Good Stuff, and Branded, or even lower than Branded, because I haven't seen that much of Runic tops. But yeah, I think I get the logic that this deck is a pretty safe deck to play. This deck plays around Maxi and can even play around Shifter and those Ash Blossoms. So yeah, very nice deck if you are trying to play safe on the new format. If you are not still complacent on playing deck on the format, I think Runic is a very good deck to start things off on the new format, as it has higher rewards than the risks. It outweighs the risks on the current format on this Runic strategy. So yeah, at A tier we have Runic, but yeah, I would just put it on B tier if I'm going to be honest. But moving forward, we have Diabellestarr Elements. I would put this deck on A tier. Yeah. I think it's a little bit lower than Diabellestarr Rescue Ace. Even though Elements has a lot of skill expression and skill floor from the deck, players can really get creative on Elements. They can do so much value on single Elements cards, and I think this is a pretty good deck right now in the format. A really strong one, but it's not on the same level as Diabellestarr Rescue Ace on my opinion right now. Maybe because Elements players are still figuring out what are the best ratios on Diabellestarr engine on their deck, and we shouldn't really doubt Elements at this point. Many players, including me, have Elements proven wrong on the previous formats. We also disregarded Elements for a couple of times, especially they are getting hits after hits on the previous ban list. But look at them, they are still up there on this tier list, and they are even the best deck on the previous metagame report last time on Road of the King, I assume, if I'm remembering things correctly. So yeah, we will not doubt Elements because we have been proven wrong for a lot of times already, and Elements can very much prove that they can still be the best deck on this new format post AGOV. So yeah, at A tier we have Elements. Moving on towards the S tier, we have Diabellestarr Rescue Ace. So I really don't agree that Purely is stronger than Diabellestarr Rescue Ace. I really think that Diabellestarr on Rescue Ace really gave them so much consistency, and it is too good to be honest. It's really good, and it made the deck had more chemistry and synergy with Diabellestarr than other decks here like Elements Diabellestarr and Adventure 10U Diabellestarr. So yeah, I think Rescue Ace are the biggest winners post AGOV. They have been reformed with Diabellestarr engine on their disposal and kit, and I think that this is the best deck to my opinion. It can really create some stupendous boards with Borreload Savage and Dragster, and even things like the Dark Fluid Dragon. So yeah, I think the turn 1 of this deck is really strong. You can't overlook the capability of this deck when going first. and they also have now a protection from Diabellestarr that has negate. So yeah, it's pretty solid, to be honest, that it is not the best deck here. But yeah, now we have purely on S tier at the best deck on this tier list. I think that Rescue Ace should be higher, but yeah, I think some players will think that purely is still the best deck because purely has been dominating the tournaments, big tournaments on the following weeks. We have the Japan Championship Tournament that is won by Purely. We also have the Willis Cup main event that is also won by Purely. So this deck is proven on the biggest stage of the game right now, and many players will really hold that regard to a very high note, because if you're looking for success, you might as well play the most successful deck, no? Like this Purely. So yeah, Purely have been proven for the better half on this OCG metagame format recently. But yeah, I think Rescue Ace should be a little bit higher here if I'm going to be biased. But yeah, Purely Noir, X-Purely Noir is really insane. The moment you summon Noir is pretty much game over for a lot of decks here, to be honest. Noir is really that good of a card on this Purely. And also players like Koki Kosaka, the World Champion 2019, and the Japan Championship champion winner, I think they are innovating purely with Diabellestarr. They have been spreading deck lists and tops of their recent success with Diabellestarr purely. So it's really exciting and enticing to expect great things from Diabellestarr purely moving forward. But right now, I think purely is good as it stands. They are a pretty much okay and powerful deck on their own, even without Diabellestarr. But yeah, we will see how the format will turn out on the following weeks and months of this July format. So yeah, we will see. So yeah, at C tier here we have Adventurer Tenyi, Exo Sister, Visas Manadium. On B tier we have Super Heavy Samurai, Branded, and Adamantipator Earth Good Stuff. On A tier we have Labyrinth, Runic, and Diabellestarr Elements. And on S tier we have Diabellestarr, Rescue Ace, and Purely. So that sums up our video. Thank you for watching this video. Hit the subscription button if you're not yet subscribed on my YouTube channel, and hit the like button if you like this kind of content. So see you on the next